The Premier League has kicked off and it's Arsenal who have picked up the first points of the season after that 2-0 win at Crystal Palace. Cass, what did you make of the game?
Arsenal were terrific in the opening parts of the game. They really did play like I think they're going to this year, is be very much on the front foot and attacking teams. Their work rate was exceptional. Palace were a difficult opposition. Palace took 4 points off Arsenal last year. I'd say it was always going to be a tricky game for Arsenal, and there was a lot of eyes. And I said to you this morning when we come in that you obviously played Arsenal in the first game of last season, and I was saying that the stats last year against Brentford, Arsenal created a lot, and obviously lost the game to Brentford because you outmuscled them in the end. But they created a hell of a lot in that particular game against Brentford.
Yeah,
more than last night.
More than double, in fact. Yeah, absolutely.
In numbers, chances created, shots, and
that's it.
There was some very good performance. Obviously, Saliba will get a lot. William Saliba, who was at Marseille last year. Marseille had a really good season. They come second in France, and he played very, very well for Marseille. Everybody in France couldn't believe that he'd been not given the chance back in England. Well, look, if the loan spell goes out and he does really well, Aston Villa bought a lad called Kamara, who played for Marseille as well. He was a holding midfielder. He's a really good player. Villa have got a great signing in there. And you sort of have to look at Saliba at Marseille and realise that how well he did and why he did so well. Defensively, he was really sound, very comfortable on the ball, doesn't give away the ball very easy. And he started the game, first come season was brilliant. But Arsenal have got a slightly different dynamic in their side. And it's all Zinchenko on the ball. I mean, wow. Just keeps the ball for fun. He's so comfortable of not being a fullback, but dropping into the midfield area like a lot of City players do, picking up the ball. Martinelli is never going to get a better opportunity to have a left-sided, come fullback, come wide man to help him become a better player.
Just on William Saliba, because you're right, he will get a lot of the headlines. He was brilliant. 3 years ago, he signed for Arsenal, basically, and made his debut last night. There will be some that will have been scratching their heads thinking, 3 years, and it's only yesterday that you make your Premier League debut. But is this actually the fact that he's been out on loan, and been out on loan to, 3 different French clubs, Saint Etienne, Nice and Marseille? Yes, Is this actually when you start to look at it and think, the loan system worked in his favour? Because he's gone and played professional. They obviously thought he wasn't ready for the Premier League, but he was certainly ready to continue.
He's now, but is he 21 now?
21.
Yeah, 21 now. Well, if you take it back, he might not have been ready 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But going out on loan helps him progress his game.
To a familiar league, because he'd come from Saint Etienne originally.
Yes, and look, he's come, bringing a young lad over and then knowing that certain things are not right for him, in that the environment isn't quite right for him to give him a chance so young. They obviously made a decision at Arsenal Football Club to go, send him back out to France, let him play, let him grow, let him mature, because you change physically as well. I changed a lot between 19 and 21 in 2 years. So I think they made the right decision. I mean, it's easy in hindsight because he's come back looking really like the finished article. But I'm sure Arsenal had big chats about him during the course of the season, have said, right, Arteta would have gone, now he comes back to us, now he plays for us, now I'll find a spot. Ben White was forced out to play right back last night, so they've kept him alongside Gabriel. And, that's a big thing to do from Arteta, to say, you're in my team and you're playing centre-half alongside Gabriel.
Yeah. Let's hear from the Arsenal invincible Martin Keown. He was on co-commentary duty for talkSPORT last night, and after the game, he spoke about the immediate impact of the Gunners' new signings.
Looking at Zinchenko and Jesus and thinking they'd been there already 6 months, the way they started. Got that goal, of course, it was from a corner. From a Palace point of view, would have been disappointing. And then all of a sudden it changed, really. Second half, or the second half of the first half, we saw some improvements, but credit to Palace second half, and Arsenal were really hanging on. It was concerning. They weren't getting up and pressing the ball well enough, and then in lucky goal. It was a lucky deflection. So again, Palace will probably feel they should have got something out of this game. But from an Arsenal point of view, I think it was really promising. They showed grit, they showed determination, and they've got 3 very valuable points here.
Like you say, Arsenal started brilliantly. Blistering start that they made. It was like Palace didn't really have an answer for them in the first 20 minutes or so, even if a bit longer. But Palace did get themselves back into the game. Will Patrick Vieira be disappointed in some way they didn't get something out of that?
Well, it was 1-0 and they had a few chances and they didn't take them. I think that would be a disappointment. They had to get Wilf Zaha into the game earlier, because when Wilf did get into it, he was causing Ben White a lot of problems. And don't get me wrong, Ben White's not a natural fullback, I don't think. But handling Wilf Zaha when he can be on fire is a hell of a tough job to do, because he will spin, he will turn, he wants the ball, he wants it tight to him, he wants to wrestle you, and sometimes you're giving away fouls. There was a few incidents last night, I'm thinking, good luck, Ben, he's got to run on you, as in he's running at you with the ball and you're having to back off, and you're not sure what way he's going to go. So it was a tougher. But Wilf Zaha's been terrific in pre-season. When Wilf's on, he's a Champions League player. He comfortably, Wilf Zaha. He's got so much ability. I'm not even convinced he will still be at Palace the time the window ends.
Really? You don't think he's now settled? And you look at
he's in his
Palace...
final year of his contract now. And there's still people... If you were looking at Wilf, and if you can get something going in his belly, you can really get a lot out of Wilf.
Where would he go?
Well, it's a case of... I think there's a lot of clubs he could play for. He just has got so much ability. Where it's got to be a top 6 club, and him down to 1 year left is a dangerous period, because he was their top goal scorer last year at Palace and played brilliantly. And there have been times I've said things about Wilf only because I feel I know how good he can be. And last night, again, and all of last season, in pre-season, Wilf can destroy people. He can. And he can do that in the Champions League. Now, Palace fans, I think, have a little bit of nervousness around Wilf Zaha, because I think if they still got him at the end of the window, they'd be delighted. But it was a performance by Patrick Vieira's team that, by the end, could have nicked something out of the game. Ramsdale pulled off a few saves. His kicking was a bit off again, Ramsdale, which he'd done a lot at the end of last season, giving away the ball in bad areas. But I do think Palace will be fine.
Game Day Breakfast with Natalie Sawyer and Tony Cascarino. Saturday mornings from 6 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.